We had to cut that intro just a little short um because I didn't have time to just do all this stuff. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Filling in the Gaps. Let me just give a quick shout out to whoever's in the chat really quick. We got Jazzy in the house, Mac Dizzle's here, Foxy, Kevin's here, Lisa Lee, Bean Baby, Doe Bardo, Tammy, Dubs is here, Heal with Sounds, Cat's here. We got a few people, Bailey Bombshell. All right. So, really quick, we were just having a members only live, and I just kind of looked at my phone and I saw that Steve Fischer put out a tweet that I thought was worth reading. I actually was reading it during the members live, the members only live, and I thought that maybe we should just go in and talk about it. So, without further ado, anyways, all of you guys who are in the chat, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's late. It's probably snowing wherever you guys are at, and I hope you guys are doing safe. But yeah, I thought it was just worth reading because there were some things that I was kind of like, this is kind of new, right? So without further ado, let's go on over to Steve Fisher's X. Reposted a tweet about 40 minutes ago. And so we're going to go ahead and read this really quick. And I'm going to turn off my chat really quick so then that way it doesn't look funny. There you go. Off. There you go. And so with this said, I basically just want to, spark the discussion down in the chat, and I want you guys to, let me know. So here, we'll go ahead and read this really quick, and then we'll talk about this, right? Okay. Perfect. I got some new news as well too. Just hit my inbox right now. All right. Sorry about that. And I'll tell you what this update is because it is directly tied to this case. Crazy. Okay. So it says here, what I am most curious about in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case is what David's reaction or explanation was when it was disclosed on September 8th that a body had been found in a car registered to him. The only people who would know that there are those who were on tour with him at the time. I know Neo started the tour with him, but I do not believe he was there for the entire duration. Rob was likely involved. Okay, so it says Neo started the tour, but I do not believe he was there for the entire duration. And this is something that I've been telling you guys since day one, right? If you guys have been, okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. If you're watching the live, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I've been saying this since day one, right? Neo did not continue with the entire duration of the tour. He probably came back, and we talked about this the other night. Rob likely was involved, but he may not have been on the road continuously or present at every show. And there were probably talks that maybe Rob was with Hannah Bang, right? So that's not confirmed. But Asia, however, I believe was with David the entire time on the road at each show and was with him the day the news broke. I believe that because Asia left her car at the rental house on the day they boarded the tour bus for the first show in San Francisco in July, her car was not picked up until September 19th when her father retrieved it late that evening as seen on surveillance. It would be extremely telling to know how those conversations unfolded after it became public that Celeste's body had been found. I'm sure there was shock, but not about the body itself, because they already knew about that, in my opinion, but about the fact that the world now knows of what kind of people they are. Wow. Who can do this to a 14-year-old or even have knowledge of it and still live with themselves months later and not even a single offer of condolences to Celeste's family and the friends of any of them? Nobody has ever been convicted of a crime by offering a condolence. That is 100% true. And if people are offered immunity, it doesn't mean they are not guilty. It means they got lucky. but karma does not care about luck. To be clear, I'm sick and fucking tired of each day that goes by that those responsible are not held behind bars. It's time to fucking pay for what you or each of you did. Dear Lord, those are some heavy, heavy words from SF Investigates. And it sounds like, quite frankly, he's tired, right? Everybody probably wants to know what the hell is going on. Let me just catch up on the chat, you guys. Cassier said, ooh, interesting topic. Doe, if you fall asleep, that's fine. No worries. Yes, but they say probably only paid 10%. So yeah, just to answer your question, Kevin, yeah, he did bail out, or he bonded out. So he probably paid a portion of that bail, which was roughly probably about 10%, right? But yeah, you guys, what are your thoughts? This is some new news, right? I mean, it's not really like breaking news, but also he just kind of puts things into perspective, right? And at the same time, I never even thought of this, that Asia was there with David the entire tour. Did I miss something? Oh, okay. I feel like I did. I didn't read this. I believe that Asia left her car at the rental house on the day they boarded the tour bus for the first show in San Francisco in July. Her car was not picked up until September 19th when her father retrieved it late that evening as seen on surveillance. Now, I want to bring up a video, right? Because I was literally just talking about this a couple of hours ago. Where is it? Here it is.
It's,
right here. Here's the video.
No, it's like you said, it's not hard to do. In fact, they put it on their own social media. There's constantly, photos in the house. There's a group of 4 or 5 of them that are always there, and they're kind of David's, groupies or whatever. They work with them, but they're always around. And like you said, there's surveillance, and in fact, I'm have a meeting this afternoon with another homeowner that's back in town, and hopefully getting important surveillance from very close to the house that might shed more light on that. And I'll tell you, one of the people actually left their car there for 2 months while this was all going on. So these are people that were definitely.
So SF Investigates told us 2 months ago, back in November on the Nancy Grace show, that there was somebody who left their car there for 2 months. Now, in previous shows, we've discussed this, and there were assumptions that maybe Neo had a blue Tesla that was there and was left there for a while. But SF Investigates just confirmed that the car that was there for an extended period of time belonged to Asia.
Hopefully getting important surveillance from very close to the house that might shed more light on that. And I'll tell you, one of the people actually left their car there for 2 months while this was all going on. So these are people that were definitely using the house kind of as a home base, at least.
You know what, Fisher? Let's just cut it. Let's just cut through it.
And so, with that being said, everybody wants to know who moved the Tesla, who moved the Tesla, who moved the Tesla, right? It was moved on July 29th, and then they immediately went on tour. And I think it's this episode or another episode, Nancy asks who moves it. And he proceeds to explain that obviously he can't say anything. He can't tell you who moved it. And SF's reason behind that is because he doesn't have permission from his client, and that client is the homeowner, Malden Trifunovich. He's a homeowner of the Hollywood Mansion, and what's it called? I reached out to him, and I asked him, is it possible that you're going to give SF permission to release the information? And so I got confirmation back from the homeowner himself, literally just responded as I went live. And, you know, very simple response he gave me was, it will be released when it can. Um, I just told him thank you. And then he responded with, you are welcome. Keep doing great work. Right. So uh, maybe, you know, he watches some of the lives if that's the case. Um, but in due time, we're going to know, we're going to learn who is the person that actually moved the Tesla. And I do believe that we are going to be finding this information out very, very soon. It seems like SF Investigates is very, very upset that nothing's moving. And you know what? I think, quite frankly, all of us are. It's not like we deserve any answers, right? But we do care. We do care about what's going on. There's a ton of us that are so invested in seeking justice for Celeste. Um, let me see. I'm now convinced she snitched, got immunity deal, and now everyone else will start going down. She was the first to sing, got the sweet deal of immunity. What are you guys' thoughts on that? You guys think that she opened her mouth and said something? Well, I mean, we'll definitely see. You know, if SF wants to, you know, come on the show and do a quick interview, you know, I mean, the floor is all his. You know, he can definitely has a space if he ever wants to come on here. You know, I'm sure, you know, my people in the chat would love to have him on here, right? Obviously, this is not something that's guaranteed. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. If SF ever wants to come onto the show, you know, he's more than welcome to. DJ See No Evils in the chat said, I finally caught your live. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. Do me a favor. We got 56 people in here. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We just kind of went live out of nowhere. And a few things just started happening back to back. Bean Baby said, no, I don't think so, because then they'll ask her, how does she know and why she didn't report it to police? Kimberly Bridges is in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How's it going, Kimberly? Welcome. Yeah, Be the Bombshell, he did. Yeah, he actually did. And I appreciate him responding. So then that way, you know, we can try to get some answers. Sorry, I'm just kind of trying to catch my breath because all this stuff is going on. It's like, wow. Let me see. But yeah, so obviously a lot of you guys are here because there's an update. We don't really have much of an update. The last live that we did, we reported on Neo. Neo was arrested in Helena, Montana, and we actually broke the story, right? We broke this story Friday morning when it all happened. This is the backstory on how this story was broke. A neighbor from in Helena, Montana, responded to a post that I had on Reddit and mentioned that Neo was arrested in Montana. And from there, I just did what I did, put it out on the internet. A few people got back and made the confirmation. And yeah, we broke a story before TMZ got their hands on it, you guys. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That was wild. And then Friday was just massive. And then we got some news, right? On when was it? Yesterday. Yesterday morning, we got some news that Neo had bonded out of jail. His bail was set for $60,000. We don't know the amount that he paid for his bond, but we do know that he did bond out at, I want to say, 9 o'clock in the morning. So he was checked in. Oh, Lisa said, we were bugging out over Rabbit's channel. Saw you there. Yeah. Let's see. LA Magazine just put up a video too. So let's go and check that out. Shout out to Lauren Conlin. Let's see, because she just put, I don't know, she just put a video out 42 seconds ago, you guys. So we're we're coming in with all this hot news. Norma Guerra, welcome. How's it going?
There was finally an arrest of an associate of the singer David.
And Lauren, we've chatted back and forth in emails. If you ever want to come onto the show and be a guest on the show, let me know.
Last Thursday in Montana, Neil Langston, it's obviously not what you think, but he was arrested in Montana on a Los Angeles warrant for a failure to appear as a witness charge. And I believe this has something to do with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, as if you've been following her homicide, because the LAPD finally referred to it as a homicide. If you've been following this, you'll know that a grand jury has been convened in Los Angeles. And from what I believe, however, it hasn't been confirmed by fact, I believe that Neo Langston, David's friend, was issued a subpoena to appear in court. He did not show up, and therefore they arrested him. And I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to kind of tell you what I've been thinking about and how I've been dissecting this over the weekend, because I've given this a lot of thought.
They sure did, Tammy.
I've been going back and forth. At first, when I heard of his arrest, I was like, great, this is great news, because I spoke to police and I actually spoke to the clerk in Helena. I don't know how to pronounce this town in Montana, so please forgive me. But at first, and I was trying to dig up some information here, I spoke to the county clerk, and I didn't even know if this case had paperwork at the district office yet, or if it had been kicked over to a county attorney, or if this was just simply a criminal complaint. He was in jail, and that's where I get the information. I didn't know yet. So
this one,
I called the clerk's office, and the clerk was like, this is interesting because it hasn't been kicked over to the district attorney's office yet, but this is in the district court. And here in this area, in this county, district court handles felony cases. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of weird. I mean, there's something called a body attachment charge, which is where basically if a witness was subpoenaed to testify in front of a grand jury, but that witness is local, the judge or the court, they can issue a body attachment arrest, which is just like a bench warrant to bring that person in. But that's a misdemeanor. So, and this clearly, it was spelled out in the paperwork I received that this was a failure to appear charge. So it wasn't a bench warrant. And I was just thinking, like, how could this be a felony charge?
Digger, welcome.
I did some research, and it turns out if one is supposed to appear in front of a grand jury for a potential felony case, or a regular jury, whatever you want to call it, this charge of them not appearing, this could potentially result in a felony charge if the case is a potential felony. So that was one thing. And I kept thinking, okay, so this is kind of a positive, because maybe we know that they are treating this, Los Angeles is treating this as a homicide, 100% a homicide. And so I just felt like that was more of a conclusion. But then it was pointed out to me, and I don't know why I didn't think of this, but it was a long week. It was pointed out that sometimes these judges, like the district judges, are the only ones that can sign off on an extradition. And at this point, we know that Neo was actually extradited to Los Angeles, to the sheriff's department where he was held. He was extradited, I believe, on Friday at midnight, so technically that's Saturday. And by Saturday morning, he had already posted bail. It was like a $60,000 bail. He posted it. He's out. So, I was like, okay, so this possibly has to do with the extradition and not that this is a felony charge. So let's remove that from the equation. But let's talk about the fact that Neo testifying in front of a grand jury about this case, in my opinion, and I have some question marks here, does this mean that he's not a suspect at all, that we can rule him out? Well, I think it's yes and no. Look,
she's got a fair point, right? Because we've been told, right, that if there is a grand jury, they do not normally call up anybody, any of the defendants. So, I mean, there is a possibility, and SF Investigates touched on this, right? So either Neo is a suspect and they're throwing out a Hail Mary, or he may very well just be a witness in this case. And at this point, if it's taken this long, there may be a few puzzles that are missing, or puzzle pieces that are missing, that they just need Neo to come in. And we do know that he failed to appear, so that means they did tell him, right? Or they at least tried to get in contact with him, told him that he had a court date to appear to, and he didn't show up.
It seems to me, and I don't know this for a fact, but police want him, or the DA's office, they want him to answer questions about his friendship with David, possibly about David's relationship with Celeste, some whereabouts, where they hung out. I mean, I just feel like this guy, Neo, has so much information that is going to be incredibly valuable to the
Absolutely.
DA's office. I mean, like, if anybody knew David, it's got to be Neo, right? Well, there have been unconfirmed reports, and when I say unconfirmed, I mean unconfirmed by the LAPD, that Neo possibly was the last one that moved the Tesla.
Hold on,
Now,
you
that
guys.
doesn't
Hold
necessarily
on.
LAPD. That Neo possibly was the last one that moved the Tesla. Now, that doesn't necessarily implicate him in any way of doing anything to Celeste. Of course. But me personally, I was like, oh, okay. If that is the case, would they call him in front of a grand jury if they thought he was criminally liable for anything? And the answer is, I don't know, but it's possible. It is possible that he could maybe still be considered a suspect, although it's not necessarily likely at this point, but it's possible.
Anything is possible, right?
So, it's, again, this case is just, it's such a freaking mystery here. And I also have to wonder, I mean, he seems, from what I can see, he's kind of an entitled.
And just to kind of back it up, right? I told you guys that I did reach out to the homeowner to try to get some clarification, because SF Investigates stated that he couldn't release this information because he doesn't have permission from Malden Trifonovich. And Malden did get back to me, and he did tell me that in due time we will know who moved the Tesla, right? If it's going to do anything for the case, then so be it. If not, so be it. But hopefully we get those answers soon.
Kid, Neo, an entitled rich kid. I mean, he's not a kid, he's 23, but you guys know what I mean. And he would potentially have a lawyer, or his parents would provide him with a lawyer.
His mother.
Because this is serious. You can't just dodge a subpoena from the district attorney's office in a case like this. I mean, why would you flee? I don't understand that. It seems like you're almost making it worse on yourself, because this is what happens when you don't show up. So I personally don't understand why he would flee, and if he had a lawyer, why this lawyer would allow this to happen. Why she would say, oh yeah, or he would say, we'll figure it out. You don't necessarily need to show up, because look, he was clearly, this is how it works in Los Angeles. Either he or his attorney was served with a subpoena giving him a date and time to show up to court. It's just strange. And there are obviously some rumors that some of David's, or one of David's female friends, could be next. But I just don't understand. Why would you not show up? Why wouldn't you just show up, testify, and have your attorney there? I mean, I'm almost certain you're not allowed to have your attorney in the room with you while you testify in front of a grand jury, but your attorney can be outside and you can take breaks to consult them. So anyway, it's a little confusing, but I do want to bring some of this stuff up that I had tweeted the other day.
Okay, so she's probably going to pull up the tweet that she did, and then I believe the person Tom G. Bridge who provided us all those photos that we were able to see, and he also provided us with that video. And I'll pull up that video too.
Day because I was on the phone all afternoon on Friday. Oh my gosh, trying to get information. And let me show you. I thought this was interesting. This was a call to service report that I got from the police department. And right here, I'm zooming in. It shows you there was one,
Which area,
two,
Lumi?
three,
When
4, 5, 6, 7. 7 officers
you're talking about the area that Neo was arrested in?
that were called to apprehend Neo. I've had some people say, "Oh yeah, that's normal when they're going to apprehend someone from out of state," but I was kind of shocked they needed 7 people for that. They also, it's almost like she warned me. By the way, the woman on the phone, she was like, "You're just not going to be happy when you get this because you have to pay $5 for this." I'm like, "It's fine, just send me what you have. I need everything." But she said there's barely any information here, but what was interesting is it says call details,
Hey,
one
Eileen,
in
welcome.
custody on Knight Street. So that's where he was arrested. Knight Street, it was 5:56 p.m. And Knight Street is very residential, and this was before some of the photos came out, but it seems to me that he was arrested at a family member's house, possibly his mother's house. And I'll show you some of the photos that this local photographer posted after I had posted this information.
Shout out
Let me show
to
you
Tom
the
Bridge.
mugshot, which really, to me, I don't like it. You guys, I don't like this mugshot. I don't understand why this kid is smiling in it because, again, which I'm
Got a
almost
pretty
certain
little
this has to do
smirk
with
on
the
his
Celeste
face,
Rivas
right?
Hernandez case. Why are you smiling? Why is this funny? Is this funny to you? Is it funny that you dipped out on a grand jury witness request? This is the death of a 14-year-old girl we're talking about, and this is hilarious.
And thank you for calling her a 14-year-old, right? I'm sick and tired of everybody, all the large multimedia outlets that are referring to her, or mainstream media outlets that are referring to her as a 15-year-old.
This is so inappropriate, but I'm sorry. I want to smack the smile off his face.
You're not the only one, Lauren. You're not the only one. I really wanted to play this soundbite yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
But he pulled one on us and he got out the next day. So
disturbing to me on so many levels here. But here are some of the other photos, and sorry if that was unprofessional, but oh man. There's also a video as well, but this was him being taken out. He probably thinks he's all badass. Like, look at this kid. Like, he's I'm so badass. I'm being like, shut up. Yeah. So
Lauren
the officer.
Lauren Conlon is feeling some type of way. Damn, this whole situation has got SF fired up. It's got Lauren Conlon fired up. All we need to see now is for TMZ to be fed up. Are we going to see that?
There's the home. Clearly, it's a residential home, but
and I'm glad because I'm glad we have this the address kind of blurred and blocked out because I'm hearing that other content creators are receiving privacy notices and privacy strikes for it.
So he's back in LA. I'm going to be very, very on top of my sources on the ground in LA because
hashtag smugshot.
That again, he testifies this week. I'm hoping that we get some confirmation here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to believe that we're one step closer. I really do. I'm just not
one time for the one time, right, Lisa?
That we are. But I'm going to stay on top of this case like I always do. I'm going to continue to speak with my sources. And by the way, I did have a source who believes, and this is based on some solid information, that David is in Los Angeles. He is in West Hollywood somewhere hiding.
Wow. I cannot believe that this confirmation came out because I also heard the same thing.
Out. So, and I believe that. I actually do believe that. I can't get into too much more, but yeah, I am so bothered by this. I am so bothered that this is I mean, look, I know that an arrest is imminent, but the fact that this is the first arrest, I am like, I was happy, and then I was like, oh, and then I was like, and yeah, all of the emotions. But like I said, Celeste, you will get justice. We will not forget about you. And I hope this was somewhat informative for you guys. I'm trying to see if I forgot anything. I don't think I did. But stay here for more information on this case. Like I said, I try to just report the facts. I try to do, original journalism on this case. I know it's tough just because I'm in New York and I am relying heavily on sources that I have in LA. I wish I was there. But yeah.
We're here. We're here in LA. Lauren, if you ever need a source out here in LA, let me know. Let me know. I'll email you. I got your email. You got mine. So let me know if you need boots on the ground in LA. Holla at your boy.
Stay with me, like and subscribe if you don't already. And I know it's a snow day for everybody. I know clearly I'm in my snow day attire, so there's that as well. But I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast here on LA Mag's daily pop culture
I'm
scandals.
curious if he is out in Los Angeles, right? Where is he hiding? They said West Hollywood. So is he close to one of his old properties? This is crazy. Westside Piff said Jason the Ween said Neo a weirdo and he don't F with him. I heard the same thing. We'll get into that.
And Crime News podcast. Thanks for watching and listening, guys.
Shout out to Lauren Conlon for doing her thing all the way from New York and providing us with this video. Let's make sure that we like it. And we'll just comment. Great work, Lauren. Boom. L-A-U. I can't even spell. All right, here, let me pull this video up. So we got this video right over here. In case you guys haven't seen it, this is footage of the actual arrest that took place. I think this was on Thursday. What happened, Jazzy? She said, no, I swear if another one of my theories is right, I'm going to pass out. West Hollywood is the Face House moved out of. I think they all moved out of it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Jazzy, let us know. What's your theory? Let's see. Let's see. In some related news, a new photo of Celeste has popped up. This photo right over here shows Celeste, and this is a very rare photo to see, right? So it says, when I scroll too far down my camera roll and I end up in summer 2024 when we still had you. So whoever posted this probably knows her personally, right? But this is a photo that you don't often get to see, right? This is a photo of Celeste back in summer of 2024, so that would have made her what? 13, right? But here in this photo, you get to see her without her covering her face. And another thing that you see here too is that she's got red hair. And there's been a lot of supposed photos of her with the red hair. There's a and you can see here the key difference between this and many of her other photos is that it looks like she has straightened her hair, right? So I'm very curious to see if they have another photo of her here. So here's another photo of potentially her in the car with David. I'm trying to see if there's any other photos. All right, let me catch up on the chat because y'all are just going too damn fast. Blair Burke is watching his every move. Celeste, you will get justice. We will not forget about you. That's the vibe. That's the manifestation. Do me a favor, drop a purple justice for Celeste heart in the chat if you guys are feeling this comment by Cats here. They only take one person down for this, and it's Davey. I'm out there. So that's what Storm said. He's pulling a bird cage all out of for the drag queen. LA born and raised. Facts. The Stream House. West Hollywood. If you know, you know. Look at all those beautiful purple hearts. There you go. So David stays and everyone else flees. Interesting, right? Everybody flees except for one person. Where's this person at? We have one person that hasn't fleed, and that's our girl Asia. In case some people don't know, Asia's new TikTok, going by her middle name now, Asia Vanny. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. We got 104 people here in the chat. Whoa. We're like setting records now, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And do me a favor, let me know if you guys are new here in the chat too. If you guys are new here in the chat, just 106. We got 106 people in the chat. Damn, that's crazy, y'all. Before, we only used to have like 30, 40 people watching the streams. And yeah, just recently we were able to hit 100 concurrent viewers. So I do appreciate all of you guys that are in the chat. If you guys are new here, do me a favor and drop a what emoji do we want you guys to drop? I have an emoji of Celeste's headstone. The photo that was on her headstone as an emoji. It's right next to the purple heart one. So if you're new here, do me a favor and drop that emoji of Celeste in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys that are here. There you go. There you go. I see Miss Dizzle. You're not new here, but I appreciate you dropping the emoji. But our girl Asia Collins has now created a brand new TikTok. She's only got 247 subscribers. Does anybody? Tina McBride. There you go. Peekaboo, I see you. Nurse Janice. Hey, nurse. Fellow nurse over there. Jazzy. Fizzgig. All the way from Australia. Jessica Rodriguez. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me see. So there's that one. So there's a few sightings of Celeste, right? So this is one where she's wearing her gray sweater. You see her wearing, potentially, this is her, right? Same hoodie that she wore that was posted on her TikTok. I think the dates for that also line up as well. What else do we have? There was also a new photo that was just posted to the internet, and it was this photo right over here. So here you see another photo of Celeste with the red hair. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Does this, I mean, obviously this is a very different photo of Celeste, right? Darcy, how's it going? I don't think I'll ever get over or understand why this happened to Celeste. I don't think any of us will. I don't think any of us will ever get over it. Yeah. Foxy says she teaches nurses. Obsidian. Hey, Obsidian, welcome. Thank you for hanging out. I'm waiting so impatiently for SF to go scorch earth. Right? I just asked Malden Trifunovich to give permission to SF Investigates to let us know who moved the Tesla. And his response was, "It will be released when it can be." And he said to just keep up the great work. So we're going to sit here patiently and wait for that information to come out, whether that's whether that's part of evidence or not, or we're all just going to patiently wait. But look at this photo of Celeste, right? I think we've been able to identify this area too. This is seems like this might be somewhere in Hollywood as well, right? I think this is on Sunset out in West Hollywood. So West Hollywood seems to be an area that often pops up very often with this case or places related to this. So I really want to know Beverly Hills, right? I really want to know what the importance is. Does we know that SF Investigates mentioned that there was not a third location, but there was another location that he believed that Celeste stayed at for a period of time. That's a great question. So this, if I'm not mistaken, I think there might be more to this, if not. But I do remember seeing that there was a sign close to this building that said that it was going to be ready in the summer of 2024. Whatever store was opening up, the summer of 2024. So I'm assuming that it was before the summer of 2024. Now, if you guys know, I don't know the timeline that she had her hair red, but we do know that closer to the end of some of the photos that we've seen, Obsidian said, "I straight up asked him who moved the car, and I asked him about the search warrant on the home, and if there was a search warrant for the actual entire vehicle. The warrant he posted was only for the body." Yep. There were only 4 pages to that. I think this is on a. Let me see. It's definitely on Sunset, but where? Ah, Obsidian, he didn't respond to you. It's okay. It took me a couple of days to get mine. He literally just responded to me as I went live. So as I was like going through my intro and stuff and playing and ready to turn on my microphone, I looked and I got a response. So it was just like everything's moving too fast. Did I ask him about the other house? No, I didn't ask. I mean, he's got no relationship to the other house. I don't know if SF Investigates has been able to see that house. I don't even know if it's currently occupied by anybody else at the moment. So that we don't know anything, but who knows? Maybe he is there. And it makes me wonder because one of the good friends of the show, Mark the Shark, actually went out to the second location or that second house a while ago. And it was just crazy because when he was out there were just, random people walking and it looked like somebody was following him. So I'm wondering if maybe he was actually there the entire time. Right? What Obsidian said. Please tell us. I think everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. That's crazy, y'all. We got 100. My chat says 118 people. That's crazy. We're setting records over here, you guys. For a small channel like mine, I appreciate all 118 of you guys that are here. 119 now. Thank you guys. It means so much for a small channel like mine to have this many people viewing and watching. So thank you. We appreciate, your support, especially during this time. It's really late, right? And again, I know that, some people in the United States are probably going through like a really horrible snowstorm. So I hope that you guys are all doing safe out there. Nurse Janice says, "You know me from Rabbit's channel." Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, you'll definitely see me in the chats of some of my favorite creators that cover this whole entire genre. Oh, Mark the Shark is in here. Shout out to Mark the Shark. The second home is occupied by who? I don't know. Um, were you here earlier, Mark, when we were playing Lauren Conlon's video? Because she mentioned that she heard from a little bird that David is actually out here in LA in the West Hollywood area. So that kind of makes everything a little bit crazier because I always thought that he was going to be in Texas. And for him to still be out here in LA, that's very, very ballsy, right? It's not like people are going to do anything, right? But for him to just still stay here, knowing that he's potentially being viewed as a suspect, that makes me just worried for his safety, right? But yeah, makes me wonder if he's staying at that second house. I don't know. What else is there? Let me see. Are there any other photos? There's this photo right over here, right? So as you can see here that can't really see who the person is, but you can see that this person has makeup on. Maybe not makeup, but you can see that they have their lashes done. You can see that there's red hair, and the hair is actually straight, which is not very common for Celeste to have, right? Because we've seen that she's always got that curly hair. It's been dark, at times. And then you see David holding this Hello Kitty phone. And in this photo, which is covered by an emoji, he's actually kissing whoever this person is. Now, could it be... Sorry, y'all. Could this be Celeste? Is what I really want to know. And look, you can see right here, he's got a little hater mark on his neck. So somebody's on his neck. 20 minutes behind, but Lauren doesn't research. There are no district courts in Montana. The county attorney handles it. Thank you so much, Ashley, for your clarification, because I didn't know that. Thank you for that. I appreciate the updates. Yeah, so he's got a little hater mark here. I wonder if we'll ever see this photo without the emoji, because I do want to know who it is. Let's see. Yeah, it was crazy because we were in the middle of doing a members only, and we were watching this high speed pursuit, and then I read SF's tweet, and I was like, I'm just gonna jump on. We're gonna cut off the members only live and go live. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out. And if you guys haven't already, smash the like button. You guys, it's 9:34 in the evening out here in LA, so I know it's late. It's probably late wherever you're at, unless you're in another country. And if you're international outside of the US, shout out to you guys for hanging out. I want to know what country or what city you're in, where you're tuning in from. Montana is different, huh? They don't have sales tax, do they? I know a few states don't. It's a great question, but I do know it is a getaway state for, just a lot of celebrities. And we have confirmed that the house does belong to the mother and her boyfriend. What's his name? Nick Milodragovich. Okay, so we got LA's in the house, St. Louis is in the house, UK 5:30 a.m. Nurse Janice. My lord. Thank you for tuning in this early. Lisa is in Jersey, Cat's Ears in Oregon, Fizzgig is in Melbourne, Australia, Scotland is in that. Wow. Mark the Shark said that car chase was wild. Yeah, you guys. If you guys enjoy watching car chases, like me and some of my members do, we're just about to start probably like a weekly thing where we watch some of the top crazy police pursuits. And we just literally watched one today where Actually, we watched one and we were in the middle of another one, but the first one that we saw, this person, 33-year-old guy, stole a car, stole a utility van. Then when that utility van went disabled, hopped out of it, jumped the fence, and he ran into a person's home, stole the keys from the kitchen counter, walked out the front door, and stole their utility truck. I guess they were landscapers, and so that truck had all of their weed whackers, and all their utilities on there. And then, yeah, he went on for another hour or so, but chase ended crazy. The guy survived, but he did cause a ton of damage, walked away with 54 charges. And then 25 charges and 54 years in jail. We got Athens in the house. Juniper Hills. Okay. Where is Juniper Hills? I don't think I've ever heard of them. And that's in California? Oh, yeah. The kidnapper dude. Yeah, that was the second one. The second guy stole a car and had 3 kids in it. Modesto. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys that are here. It's very rare for us to go on this late sometimes and have this many people in our chat. So again, I want to thank you guys for being here. If any of you guys want to follow Asia on TikTok, this is her new account. I think she ditched her last one. I don't know why she would make one. Let's see, is there anything new? Let's see. We'll just go into these really quick. Or anybody in the chats have any questions about this case? I'm not like a historian on this case, but I am very active with a lot of the people that are online that are covering this case. But just a recap. Let me just recap. SF Investigates put out a tweet basically saying how fed up he was. Alberta, Canada. Ooh, -21? Ooh, I am so sorry. Akron, Ohio. Okay, shout out to my international people and all my people outside of California. Y'all are the real MVPs right now because I know it's late. But to recap, SF Investigates put out a tweet today that basically stated he was sick and tired and fed up. Basically was saying that he knows that Asia had her car and was left there for roughly 2 months. It's weird because look, it says here that her car was picked up on September 19th. We know that the search warrant was served, the forced search warrant was served in her home, or at the house, sorry, at the mansion on September 18th. So the day after that warrant was served, her father, Mr. Collins, retrieved her car. Later that evening, as seen on surveillance. That's crazy. To be clear, I am sick and fucking tired of each day that goes by that those responsible are not behind bars. It's time to fucking pay for what you or each of you did. Man, I just want to know who moved that car. Joy Connolly said, still don't understand the car thing. Like, why was it left there? You're talking about Asia's car? Well, I'm assuming that her car was left there because they all went on tour. They all, or which one? The Tesla? Now I'm going to need your clarification, Joy. We all believe it's Neo. The Tesla. Why was the Tesla left there? That's a great question. Oh, Mark, and you and I have had our talks too. Yeah, after Neo's quick bail release, we are all fed up. I know how much it made your blood boil to kind of read that, you know, probably during your live and afterwards, Mark. I think we were all pissed off. I don't know, that when Neo got arrested and set bail, it really felt like we took like 3 steps forward and then we took like 5 steps back, right? That's exactly how it felt for me when I found out. Um, I woke up in that morning. It was like, all right, cool, let's follow up on the news. And then I see that SF posted a tweet that said Neo posted his bail, or he bonded out. He would have passed around. Yeah, he would have been passed around in jail. Well, that's probably why his family tried to help him get out as soon as possible, right? Because he probably wouldn't have made it, especially if people found out he was connected to that case. Yeah. The blue Tesla was Neo's. I don't know if we have any documentation that he's actually driving it. I'm trying to see if there's any other. Let me see. There's a few posts on Reddit about the unsent projects. I don't know if they're directly related to David or not. Let me see. Yeah, I think Friday, put everybody on such a high, and we felt like things were moving. To find out that the very next day, he got out first thing in the morning. And I feel like this is the reason why, he did this. He gave us that smile because he knew that he wasn't going to stay there long, right? But also, I think if he's out on bond, I'm assuming that there's going to be restrictions on his release, and he's probably been given a new court date. Yeah, hear what sounds, right? It makes me wonder if Neo is actually staying in West Hollywood now too. I don't think it's far fetched to believe that maybe he is. I definitely think he'll be out here. I don't think he's going home anytime soon. We do know that Neo's mom lives in Van Nuys, right? So it's not like Montana is the only place. Maybe he's hiding in Van Nuys. Who knows? I know Neo is very, very, very aware of all of these videos of these online detectives who know and watch his every single move down to the minute, as you have mentioned in your Twitch, right? Just know, we do know. We do know. And, your time's going to come. You're going to have an opportunity to talk, and you're going to have an opportunity to spill everything that you know. And if you don't, I guess you're going to have to pay for that as well, right? Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. This has already been I don't know, I've been live since 6 o'clock. So, for any of you guys who do watch football, the Seahawks did beat LA. This is a very sad day in LA. The Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl, and they are going to be facing the Patriots. Mark. David said, well, what did you tell them, Neo? Neo responded with, nothing, babe. Anyways, thank you guys so much. That's going to be it for me. I will see you guys another day. Hopefully tomorrow we get an update and then we can go live again. If not, I don't know. Who knows when I'll go live. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. Peace.